Mutuse Seseko we yafugira abantu obumbula Kongo ya single fulumiza music omulunje bitagambika naye ngenda baggwanga bonga bali mazina. Agament entertainment is the contemporary equivalent of the Roman games of the circus that diverts the public from politics and generates a political apathy. Oluvanyuma lw'okuba abantu okubawamba okubatulugunya okubatta abakote Bobi Wine okuba bannamawulire ani avayo n'ayogera yali All Access Isma yagamba ati
and then be able
abo be mwakubye ggulo mwakubye batono mubakube tujja kukuba Bobi Wine ojja kudde wakawo nga tolaba BBC tajja kujja gende nalufenya njagala bali bekuta
yali yambadde essaati eriko ekifaananyi kya Mwami Museveni.
Directive from His Excellency the President of
Look at his directive from his. Why?
Uganda, that media owners, media runners or managers, editors should be taken to Kyankwanzi.
Should be taken?
For leadership training.
No consulting, no nothing. No, you should. It's mandatory.
Reason for that?
Did you enjoy what you just watched? I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa YouTube channel? Thank you.
Very glad to be here on Mordecai Marissa TV.
Yes, indeed. Ogamba otie ukasubire nti oli bulungi. Nze Mordecai Marissa. Nkwebaza yona gy'osinzira okubeera ng'ogoberera endowooza zange zenga bana nawe ku mikutu gyange gimunaiza wala social media platforms. Webale nnyo gyokulira ku speed ya kika kya waggulu genda mu maaso n'okubeera ng'ogoberera. Teekako by'olowooza ate era emboozi bw'ogisangamu omulamu agigabaneko n'abo abantu b'owangala nabo oba b'omanyi abaagala ebigambo okunokola muganda ffe Kazi Bashir Mbaziira olw'ogwooto lwa waaka. Look, this story is very dear to my heart. When I was a kid, I wanted to pursue journalism. Nali njagala kubeera munnamawulire. And I had seen journalism as a career that would help me connect with the people and try to represent their voice. Having realized that I was born and raised in abject poverty, and there were not as many people that were speaking for me. So I wanted to use journalism as a platform to speak for other folks in areas that are less given attention to. What I found out was it was close to impossible. And look, that doesn't necessarily mean that banamawulire aba tebakikoze. Naye nalaba nga kizibu nnyo naddala ng'owangalira mu bukulembeze obwa musibira mu bbwa. Bw'olaba nga bakuba munnamawulire olina kuseka, bwe bamutulugunya olina kubeegayirira, bwe bamutta olina kusirika. And having named myself Mordecai Marissa, ng'erinnya lyange eryokusatu nga mbatizibwa awo nga nkyali mu Katoliki. I was getting inspiration from Martin Luther King Jr. and his civil rights movement na buli kimu kye yakola. Nendabanga tekigenda kusoboka. Nga sigenda kulaba bintu nga bikyamu bigenda mu maaso ngambe ndi munnamawulire kansirike. Nga sigenda kubeera mu bintu by'amasanyu gokka. Then I decided to recuse myself from the fair journalism or unbiased. Kati bamwami Museveni, I don't even know how to react to this story. Bali mu kuzannya bannamawulire twolekera akalulu. Akazannyo kaabwe ke bazannya kwe kubagamba nti temumanyi kukola mirimu. Ffe abagenda okubalaga butya bwe mukola emirimu gyammwe. And bavuddeyo mbu bagenda kusomesa bannamawulire okwagala eggwanga lyabwe. Babatwala mu indoctrination program ya NRM gye bayita esangibwa Kyankwanzi, National Leadership Institute, NALI. Mbu gye bagenda okubasomeseza patriotism. I want you to understand, every time you hear NRM folk, oba omuntu yenna nga awagira Museveni, ng'ayogera ekigambo patriotism, tategeeza ekyo, aba ategeeza kuwagira Museveni n'obumenyi bw'amateeka. It is funny, nga bwe mbatira bagamba nti in the neighborhood manu mwempangaalira, siyita ku nnyumba bbiri nga sinalwa fulaga ya America. America teyina we yali eyise bannansi baayo ne bagamba mujje tuule mu class tubasomesa okwagala America. Bannansi baagala America olw'ebyo bye bakoledde. Gw'okuntwala mu kibiina osomesa okwagala eggwanga lyange, kiraga nti olina ebikyamu by'okoze. I could be getting ahead of myself. Let's watch this story together and then we react. Listen.
In a packed conference room, media managers and media owners took turns on the microphone to express themselves before the Uganda Communications Commission and the government through its security agencies. This was after the commission invited them to a meeting that was aimed at harmonizing national security and media freedom.
Harmonizing national security and media freedom? Harmonizing national security? Is our national security under threat? What are you trying to harmonize? And how is the media involved in harmonizing national security?
So yes, you don't create stories, you show what happened, and nobody is saying, don't show what is happening. What you are saying, don't go in for hate speech.
We're saying, let's go back. Agambia atewa no, leader.
And nobody is saying, don't show what is happening.
Mutewali agamba temulaga bigenda mu maaso kutuukawo.
What we are saying, don't go in for hate speech.
Kyetugamba temugenda na oba temuweereza bintu bisiga bukyayi. Please define what hate speech is, because you realize that what they call hate speech can only be defined when it is being performed by opposition folks. Kyebayita obukyayi ekyo tebakifaako. For example, nyinza okubaza nyiro obutambi bwa bamuyitaane Majambere ng'avuma ng'agamba tugenda kutta. Nsobola okuzanyira akatambi ka basajjamivu ng'agamba Bobi Wine yeetaaga kuttibwa. Nothing will happen to them. That's hate speech. Hate speech. I think I even posted about that shortly after All Access Isma ngasse ngabakubye. Let me try to post to show you something here I'm talking about. I think I said say no to hate speech. Let me try to say here. Mordecai Marisa. Say no to hate speech. Kankulaga on real time. I think I did this video when I was in Uganda. I was working with NBS when nayogera binene bigambo. Yeah, the video is still there. This is me. In 2020, I was on NBS TV. Nalinya nukula. Nga, I want you to look at this. Government ya Museveni eganya okuba ko kyekola. All Access Isma ebigambo byali ayogedde. This is me. I was working with NBS TV. You can see the date of when it was posted. November 23rd, 2020. Oluvannyuma lw'okuba abantu okubawamba okubatulugunya okubatta abakutte Bobi Wine okuba bannamawulire. Ani avayo n'ayogera yali All Access Isma yagamba ati and then be able
abo be mwakubye eggulo mwakubye batono mubakube tujja kukuba Bobi Wine ojja kudde wakawo nga tolaba BBC tajja kujja gende nalufenya njagala bali bekuta.
Yali yambadde saatiriko ekifaananyi kya Mwami Museveni nga yayogera ebyo njagala bakukube katono
bakone tiyagasa kuyingire otuke wa bwana bo busubi ne kano kakazi akayina amannyo g'okungulu akatuusi mbuno kagalafu kaledi kalinga ensonzi obo bonna ekabutiitiire.
This is the definition of hate speech. This big-headed guy who is telling us about his speech didn't say a word.
You show what happened, and nobody is saying, don't show what is happening. What we are saying, don't go in for hate speech.
What did you say when this thing was happening? When this guy was saying these words?
Mwenaba yimbi epasi nkulaba tujja kugano yimba gwe epasi tujja kukona empi.
Omanyi All Access Isma we yaktibwa. Yali amaze okukola hate speech ku bantu abali NRM leaning ne bamukuba amasasi. Bwe boogera hate speech tebategeeza hate speech. Bategeeza okulumba aba NRM. Singa ovuma, singa olengeza, singa owemula, singa otiisa Mwami Museveni awutukujjirira. Ebyo temubiraga. Naye muli baddembe okulaga oba All Access Isma oba Majambere oba omuntu yenna ng'awemula, atiisatiisa, alengezza, agamba agenda kutta Bobi Wine. That is very okay. These folks are completely out of touch and detached from reality. Nga bwe ntera okubagamba. Nti bakuta omuvubuka wa NUP. Saagala gamba wa NUP. Ko bayinza okuba bamufumbi bufumbi, balimbye limbo bawo muwagizi wa Bobi Wine. Ne katukitwale nti muwagizi we katumale gakkiriza. Yagambe usawa ya kutemako mutwe. That is threatening violence. It is wrong. Chicha era nagambye bateekeddwa okumuyisa mu ngeri ey'amateeka bwe gagamba. N'olwokuba bamukute bamenyi b'amateeka bamukwata batandika kumukuba kumusala mu busolo kumuggyako lususu n'ogamba ebikwataganira wa n'enkola entuufu eteekeddwa okuyitwamu. Muhoozi Kainerugaba agamba agenda kutta Besigye. Agamba wanamala omutaddeko Bobi Wine. Agamba tugenda kuba ba NUP. Teri amugambako. What do you mean by hate speech? You nyombi tembo. I will stop here today ku bigambo by'ono guy. Very, very useless.
It is at this engagement that the Minister of Youth and Children Affairs, Balaam Barugahara, delivered a directive that journalists were to undergo a mandatory...
Delivered a directive. Do you see how they really disrespect journalists? And oyinza okuba olina ky'otafuddeeko. Listen to these words.
Barugahara delivered a directive that journalists were to undergo a
Waiting for hate speech.
It is at this engagement that the Minister of Youth and Children Affairs, Balaam Barugahara,
The Minister of Youth and Children Affairs,
delivered a directive that journalists...
Where's the line minister? Minister w'ebyamawulire aliwa? Lwaki owabavubuka n'ensonga z'abaana yawe ekiragiro? Muyina okugenda.
were to undergo a mandatory training at the...
Bayina okugenda mu kutendekebwa okw'obuwaze. Mandatory. Teweeronderawo. Mandatory. And later on nja kulaga. Lwaki kino kigenda kutuukirira. Kubanga abali emabega bano boolaba simanya ba media owners, simanya proprietors, simanya ba boss. Bali abo bonna they caved. They capitulated. They're afraid of Museveni. They don't have the backbone. They cannot say, no, this is wrong. Tebasobola. And besides that, ne bwe bandibadde basobola, many of them are greedy. Eno deal egenda kugira mu ssente. Bano ba media owners bagenda kubawa ensimbi. Tebagenda kuyimirirawo ku ludda lwa bannamawulire banna be bakozesa. Bagende muteekeddwa kugendayo. Because let's watch this story, then I'll argue this bulungi.
National Leadership Institute in Kyankwanzi.
Directive from His Excellency the President of
Look at his directive from his... Why?
Uganda, that media owners, media runners or managers, editors should be taken to Kyankwanzi
Should be taken.
for leadership training.
No consulting, no nothing. No, you should. It's mandatory.
Reason for that is
The reason for that,
we need to install the spirit of patriotism in
we need to install the spirit of patriotism
them.
in them. You to install the spirit of patriotism? Alleged rapist? You install the spirit of patriotism in me? Nga bakavagamba okwata abantu. Bebagamba. Gwe awagira omuntu awamba n'atulugunya abantu. Gwe gwagamba installing the spirit of patriotism in me?
This brought mixed feelings among the attendees, with some calling the move unnecessary.
It is unnecessary 100%. It shouldn't even be some. All of you.
While others welcomed it. However,
Those who welcomed it are opportunists.
the National Association of Broadcasters says though there won't be any resistance, they don't necessarily find this as the solution to hate
What do you mean? Though there won't be any resistance, they don't find it?
speech.
They don't find it, then why are you not resisting? Make that make sense. This is called meal card strategy. You know? Tisa muko naye ng'okimanyi tosaagaana. Tisa muko bakuwaaka sente naye batakuwa ogenda kugendayo.
As the solution to hate speech.
We are making a mistake to assume that the reason there is hate speech that is saturating across the country is related to people not being patriotic. I think the people in those newsrooms are very patriotic. So they are going to Kyankwanzi.
So if you believe that these folks are actually very patriotic about the newsroom, then why not stand against the president and say we cannot allow this? But everyone capitulated. We all caved. We should be ashamed of ourselves as a country.
Or not, is not going to change the situation. The problems are a lot more than patriotism.
Security expert
Yeah, say those problems. I know you're trying to sound really good.
Fred Egesa suggests that for fair democracy, the government, after hosting the journalists in Kyankwanzi, should let the opposition take them on too for an equivalent training.
We are looking.
But that's unacceptable. They won't even do it because Kyankwanzi National Leadership Institute, that's a complete indoctrination program of the NRM. NUP ina office zaayo. Lwaki nayo bwebamala okugenda mu National Leadership Institute Kyankwanzi nga bajja ku School of Leadership eri ekamucha basomesebwe.
At balancing the equations. Are they going to also to allow the working opposition to create some kind of such a class, schools and classes so that all?
No, they won't.
So journalists also go there and pick their field, because patriotism is not politics. Patriotism is about being vigorous about how you want your country to be. So if we talk about politics but then politicizing journalists, I think we're getting it wrong.
Egesa says he's surprised this directive didn't come through the line ministry, but rather Minister for Children's Affairs.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Minister byamawulire aliwa.
But if he said a command, then I'm so surprised that Balaam can say that.
Oh, you're surprised. You're surprised that Balaam can say that. What do you even mean? This is what Balaam does. Being a lapdog, licking the boots of Museveni and his enablers. Being a sycophant, a lackey. You're surprised? I mean, Balaam is the same guy. Muhoza jagamba njaga kusinkana Bobi Wine tuogere. Balaam nagamba yes, weta go musinkana. Muhoza nagamba sijja kumusinkana. Naga oli mugezi obutamusinkana. What are you even trying to say?
Because he should definitely know that we are not about mixing this world. We are about straightening the country.
That's the story. Tell me what you think. That's the story. For now. You know, every time I see all these kind of things, I'm reminded of my days when I was in the newsroom. And what really went through my mind when I was doing these kind of things. NRM egenda kusomesa bannamawulire okwagala eggwanga lyabwe. Now, media proprietors or owners, bosses, I can guarantee you bagenda kukkiriza. They're going to accept that. That's when I was still on NBS. I think this is 2020. Yeah. Bagenda kukkiriza kuba Museveni agenda kubawa ensimbi. Ensimbi ezo bajja kufuna ku ne bamu ku bannamawulire bebawa. Bajja kufunayo abwe batyo. Kye baagala okukola kye kino kye ngenda okusomera wano eno. But I was, thinking about those days when I was in the newsroom and having a great time. What journalism meant for me. It wasn't about serving the interests of a regime. I wanted to be in places where history is made. I wanted to report truth and hold folks in power to account. It wasn't about someone teaching me how to love my country. That should be automatic, especially if I appreciate what the country has done for me. Well, ngamaliriza. I'm going to read you a few lines here from Noam Chomsky about how the media operates really. Let's read here. More especially, never borrow a book from me. Listen. Because they know that as we're headed for election, people are going to want to know more about their politics and their leaders and who is standing for them. They want to divert them and try to point them to into a different direction. You know, this is what you have to feed the masses. Noam Chomsky and Edward Hammond wrote in Manufacturing Consent. They say, the public is not sovereign over the media, the owners and the managers seeking ads, because it's through ads that they get paid. So Museveni Agaba was saying, decide what is to be offered and the public must choose among these. People watch and read in good part on the basis of what is readily available and intensively promoted. Polls regularly show that the public would like more news, documentaries, and other information, and less sex, violence, and other entertainment, even as they do listen to and watch the latter. There's still reason to believe that they would not like to understand why they are working hard with stagnant and declining incomes, have inadequate medical care at high costs, and what is being done in their name all over the world. If they are not getting much information on these topics, the propaganda model can explain why the sovereign who control the media choose not to offer such material. Nti okunoonyereza kulaze nti abantu baagala nnyo amawulire okunoonyereza ebintu bwe bityo okusinga biri okuttiŋŋana amasanyu. N'olwokuba bannannyini emikutu gy'amawulire balina ababafuga oba bo bennyini balina bye bayisaawo be basalo kye bafiidinga abantu baabwe. Era akugamba wanene agamba nti these preferences for entertainment underlies the gradual erosion of public sphere. Kino kye kyonoona omulamu bwe tuwangalira under systems of commercial media well exemplified in the history of broadcasting. Yali awo byakulabirako mu America over the past yali ayogera ku myaka esamu etaano agamba, but entertainment naye byamasanyu has the merit not only of being better suited to helping sell goods. Sigamba nti kubanga kiyamba okutundirako ebintu ebyamasanyu ebyo, no, si kye kyokka. Agamba nti it is an effective vehicle for hidden ideological messages. Osobola okuyisa mu obubaka bw'okwese. Furthermore, in a system of high and growing inequality, mu system ng'eya Uganda erimu obutenkana obw'ebintu, agamba nti entertainment is the contemporary equivalent of the Roman games of the circus. Amasanyu gafuuka oba osobola gageraageranya ku kye bayitanga games of the circus, emizannyo gy'abasajja mwe bazannyiranga Abaroma. Baategekanga emizannyo egy'amaanyi ebigogumbya na buli kimu mu bwaguuga bw'agasawo agaakula, abantu nga basanyuka ne balindirira emizannyo egyo buli kaseera, naye nga eno Abaroma bafuga. Kati agamba nti ebyamasanyu bisobola okukola ng'ekyo, abantu ne balobera eyo. Bw'atyo Mobutu Sese Seko bwe yafuga abantu b'e Congo, abawadde Lingala. Mobutu Sese Seko bwe yafugira abantu obumbula, Congo yasinga ofulumiza music omulungi ebitagambika, naye ng'enda baggwanga bo nga bali mu mazina. Agamba nti entertainment is the contemporary equivalent of the Roman games of the circus that diverts the public from politics and generates a political apathy. Oshegede nti kikuyamba okujja abantu ku byobufuzi ne kibaleetera okubikyawa, that is helpful to the preservation of the status quo, ekiviirako okulekawo embeera eriwo okusigala ng'egenda bw'etyo. Abantu bakyerega mwana nze kambe ku byobufuzi n'obawa amasanyu, bw'obawayo amasanyu, bw'obawayo ebyobufuzi obawa bibi byokka byokka, obeera extremely cynical and very skeptical and biased bw'obawa bibi, then omala obbawo ebibi, then ng'oteekako omuziki. Kati mwana ensonga kisenako ebyobufuzi wamma gwe kuba oluyimba. That is strategic. That's why Museveni is going to play on the minds of people. Some of them actually know, but because many of them are greedy and opportunists, are going to listen. They're not going to defend their own journalists. It is very sad, but that's what's going to happen. Amawulire twolekera akaluka 2026 gagenda gafa e Uganda ne gagenda kwongera okufiira ddala. Wano nkugambira, funayo omuntu wa independent media, alina YouTube channel ye, bw'oba okkiriza nti byakola birimu omulamu oyinza obutawagira nze nyinza okuba nga bagamba bati I'm not your cup of coffee, I might not be your cup of coffee. Nefunayo omuntu alina omukutu gwe omuwagire. Okay? Muwagire gamba nti why? Mordecai Murisa kan subscribing fuuka member. Noonya engeri gy'obawagira babeerewo ng'omanyi nti tebalina bye bayisawo byabwe, tebeenoonyeza byabwe nti baagala kufuna bulango, bafune amasomero galange nabo, oba NRM bagule. Ye story y'olwaleero. Kitabo kiyita manufacturing consent. Nina abantu mbabutogera omuntu adajja kumbuzi kitabo kiba kiyita batya? Manufacturing consent. Kyawandiikibwa Edward Haman ne Noam Chomsky. Ebyo byensomye biri ku mugguukiriro n'ekitabo kirungi nnyo, ajja kulaga enkozesa y'olulimi na buli kimu. Nze Mordecai Murisa nkwagaliza okubeera obulungi. Weeraba.
Did you enjoy what you just watched? I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa YouTube channel? Thank you.